Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for Greenleaf Season 4, Episode 8. Okay, let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so Grace is talking to Judy. Judy is Bob Whitmore's daughter. Why does Judy talk like this? And wait till I tell you what we have in store for you. We got so many ideas. I was like, girl, why you got to act like you about to open curtain one every time she talked? Anyway, Grace is trying to figure out why they done bought up all this land. And she was just like, oh, when daddy comes, he's going to let everybody know in 2 weeks. And we have a lot planned for you. Don't say anything, but we have a whole campus community that planned for here. Okay, they have a multi-use. Basically, it's going to be restaurants, it's going to be learning centers, it's going to be I guess parks and recs, and it's all kind of stuff they have planned for this land. And that's why they had to buy it up, because they need the space. So Grace goes back and she tells Bishop and Lady Mae. Bishop is like, I don't like it. I don't trust it. I don't believe it. Okay, Bob Whitmore is up to some shit. Lady Mae is mad at Jacob. Like, what is wrong with your dumb ass? Okay, first it was Tasha the skank, and now it's your wife. You just let these women lead you around like you was some pony on a rope at some seedy carnival. Okay, he was like, she said she didn't know. I said, of course she was gonna say that. What else was she gonna say, Jacob? Nothing that a quick phone call to your realtor couldn't solve, you know, but that's too much like right. Bishop was like, I still need to know the full plan. I feel like they haven't told us anything. And Grace was like, yeah, and Sidekick Phil and even Judy don't seem to really have a good grasp on what the plans are. Okay, and when she mentioned Sidekick Phil, you know, Jacob was just like, oh, and let me tell you something else. And Lady Mae was like, what has that greasy Negro done? I said, not greasy. And you know, Grace was like, no, Jacob, not right now. He was just like, I'm not gonna be the only one in fucking trouble here. Your daughter Charity is in love with it. They was like, oh my God. Mae was like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. She walked off and Grace went after. She was like, Jacob, did you really have to tell her that? Yes, he did, because he tired of being just the only dumb one in the room. Okay, I said, no, you ain't got to worry Bishop there too, child. Anyway, when she walks off, Grace goes and, you know, Lady Mae was like, it's like that girl seeks out the wrong man, okay? And it always reminds Mae of what a horrible mother that she was. And Grace was like, you know what, I can relate, because she wishes that she could just reach out to AJ and just hug him and tell him that she loves him. And I was like, it's good to see that Grace and Lady Mae, I don't know how long it's gonna last, but it is good to see that these two are finally, you know, they all on one accord here. And, you know, Lady Mae doesn't feel like she has to be in competition with Grace and vice versa. It's just sort of like, come on, we got something in focus here. Let's make it happen. And I'm thinking it's going to repair their, you know, real bad mother-daughter relationship too. So it's good to actually see them together. Now, they really got to get the deacons to, you know, in on this information. Because they're not gonna go for it. And Grace was like, Mama, I can't tell them that. I'm the good cop, remember? And then Lady Mae was like, well, what we will do is we'll have an engagement party. Surely as everybody is around and talking, you know, and little tidbits of information gets dispersed here and there, you know, we couldn't say that we were just letting them know anything. So they're gonna invite the board there. And Lady Mae was like, and you know, the best way to ensure that the bitch Connie will be here is not invite her. Oh, she can't resist the chance to not be rude. Okay, she thinks it makes her interesting. And you know, I'd like to lean towards thinking that it does. And Grace was like, oh Mama, who is gonna talk like you when you are gone? Okay, I said, I know, because between Lady Mae and Bishop, child, they look like they sit down and write down the most flowery type of conversation that they can at the beginning of the day, and then they stick to that shit. They are so just extra. Now, Jacob goes back to Zora Mama, you know, with her tail tucked in between her legs. At least you think so, right? You would think, right? And she was like, how did it go? And he says, as well as can be expected. How are you? How are you? The boy been henpecked so much that now he's so extra concerned when he should have his own concern. Anyway, Zora Mama goes on and throws it out there. You know, she want to know if Bishop and Lady Mae die, are they going to leave the property to Jacob and Charity and Grace? Because if they are, then maybe Charity and Grace can buy them out, because get this, they didn't get the property. I said, bitch, you done slept with Fernando and took the money. Okay, even though this Fernando part might be a little fun for you right now, but you did all of this and you still didn't get the fucking property. See, right there, that's God. That's God right there. He already telling you that you ain't gonna get nothing, because shit that comes ill, when it comes by ill, it ain't gonna work out. Okay, so he trying to save your dumb ass. So, she was just like, maybe they can buy us out. I'm gonna tell you what. If my husband came to me and start talking about if my parents die and what they gonna get, that right there would turn me off. Don't talk about my mom and daddy dying. Whatever the fuck my mom and daddy got for me is between me and my damn sibling. And of course Jacob was just like, I don't want to do that. All right, and she was like, well, thank you for your help. He says, but I do have a question for you. What was you doing at Fernando Lamas's office? And she was just like, getting some cufflinks for you. She says, why? What do you think that I was there for? And he says, I couldn't imagine. Oh, you can imagine, that is for sure, okay? Why are you talking to me like I'm some whore flagging down cars on the street, okay? When you, the son of iniquity, the Jezebel's fool himself, was out there philandering in the streets how many times, okay? How many times did I lay in our bed alone while you was out doing God knows what? Don't you come talking to me about what the fuck I was doing with Fernando. I said, oh. Listen, Zora mama get on my fucking nerves, but she had a point there. I said, baby, sometimes we just got to knock them back. I know. Then we see Zora, okay? Child, they done forgot all about Zora. She down there in that cabin just doing whatever the hell she want to do. Do Jacob and Zora mama even know that she ain't in the big house no more? Have they even been down there? Okay, no. She down there with Nikki. They looking at videos, laughing, all curled up on the couch. I said, bitch, you a little too close. Give me a little space. A little space. Sophia come in there, and Sophia's feeling kind of jealous about the fact that used to be her and Zora. Okay, now that here she was replaced with this child here. And, Zora kind of giving her the up and down, like, yeah, she ain't really trying to. Zora is a bitch to Sophia. Sophia is going through whatever she's going through, but it's like, damn, okay, give a girl a break. She done been through a lot. Well, I guess Zora has been too, so whatever. So Sophia feels out of place. I said, girl, just go on back to school. Just go on back to school. These people got too many problems for you anyway. Go on and get your new life started. Now, back over at the church, Sidekick Phil is mad that he didn't know nothing about this campus community that they about to bring on down the line. And not only that, but you guys told Grace before you even told me. And Judy was like, don't you worry, because I know that Daddy still has plans for you. He says, well, who's getting the church? And she says, well, why don't you let Daddy handle that? But you are appreciated. I said, that's right, Sidekick Phil. Just keep on tap dancing. Yes, all boss. What you need, boss? Where you want me to go, boss? This way, boss? Now, Bishop, he got a problem with Charity. He's sitting down talking to her, in their little study. And he was just like, so how long were you slithering behind our backs with that Sidekick Phil? Gigi told you. I knew she would. Both Gigi and Jacob have expressed concerns. They're worried that he's using you. He is not using me, okay? You guys don't know Sidekick Phil like I do. He's a lot like me. I was just like, now, what do we supposed to pull from that? He's kind. He's hardworking. He knows what it's like to play for a team and never get put up to bat. And if you can keep a secret, Phil is also Bob Whitmore. That's right. He writes all of his books, all of his sermons, everything. So he's a genius in Charity's book. And Bishop says, well, not only is he woefully ambitious, but he's dumb. She gets mad. Oh, Daddy. And he was just like, listen, Charity, I just don't want to see you get hurt. She says that he's not going to hurt her. Okay. And you guys would know that if you would just give him a chance, invite him to this engagement party tonight. And then that way you guys can all see the Sidekick Phil that she sees. I feel like we all seeing the same Sidekick Phil, but I mean, you know what? When you're in love with somebody, maybe you see something differently. She's like, just give him a chance, Daddy. And he was just like, I will, but not any more than any other man. And she was just like, well, I'll make sure that he's good and scared. He said, you make sure that you do. Okay. So she goes and rushes off back to the church and goes and tells Sidekick Phil, okay, it's all set. My parents are having an engagement party tonight and you are invited. He says, really? And she says, yes. He says, do they know about us? And she says, they do. That's why they want you to come. So then he says, he's not really sure if this is the right time to be exposing all of this because, you know, he been working hard and he just gonna end up with a girlfriend like Charity. And she was just like, well, if you don't want me, if I'm not a big enough prize, then let me go. He was like, oh, Lord, let me not get this girl upset. Because honestly, I do believe that Sidekick Phil actually has feelings for Charity. It ain't quite at love, but he definitely is getting to the point where it's going to make it harder for him to hurt her. So he was just like, okay, well, I'll come on and come to the party. What time? You know, she's just like 7 o'clock. I said, girl, ain't nothing like when you get to show off your new man and he good looking too, even though he's a snake slithering in the grass. But, you know, she was just like, okay, her man is coming to the party. And then we see Corinne at her desk and here comes Connie. Connie was like, oh, I hear that there's a big engagement party at the mansion. I'll just assume that my invitation has been misplaced. You know, it went to the wrong email. Do me a favor and just re-email it to me. And she says, oh, you know what? How about I just mark you down as you're coming? And Connie was like, that'll be fine, okay? And when she walked away, Corinne was like, boy, that lady may sure got a beat on that damn Connie, don't she? Knows her like the back of her hand. It's because they cut from the same cloth, just one on one side and the other on the other. Now get this, y'all. That damn Zora mama, see, she know that she can get places with Bishop because Bishop has this open heart and he just trusts everybody. And is, you know, because he thinks that they're family. So Zora mama go in there. She says, Bishop, you know, I was just wondering if you had your marriage license because Zora's doing this, you know, this montage and she wants to put it in the video thing. And he's, oh, sure, it's in the safe in the room. Okay. I was just like, see, just what I told you guys. Charity and Jacob get that shit from Bishop. He's just as stupid too. Child. So he get up, you know, he says, you can stay down here. She said, oh no, I'm coming. Bishop's got to get this safe combination. So they go up there and she's standing behind him and he's all, you need this marital license, huh? Yeah, she needs a license. Oh, okay. So do you keep your will in there? Yes, all of her important papers. You and Jacob can keep your important papers in here too. Oh yes, I'll talk to him about that. But you know, she's all looking over his shoulder like, what that say? That's 22 left, 15 right. Right when he's about to get to the last number or last couple of numbers, he kind of blocks the way so she can't see. And then he opens it. Oh, here it is. So it's a whole bunch of stacks of stuff in there, and he pulls out some files, and then he got the license. Okay, here you go. I bet you one thing. I've never handed my marital license to just somebody in my house. I don't give a fuck if they family or not. Like, what the hell you need it for? I don't want you to have it. Let me talk. See, this is when it comes, when the husband and wife thing come into action. Because my husband would have been like, let me talk to Roxanne about that. Okay, and she'll get that to you. He wasn't even gonna get involved because he already knows that I got a bad fucking relationship with Zora mama. I'm not handing over no legal documents to your ass, even if you are gonna use it for good. Let Roxanne handle it because, honey, Roxanne is gonna scope that bitch out. He gives her the marital license, and thank God, while she's walking out, Lady May is coming in, honey. Lady May just look at her. Bitch, they ain't saying nothing. They just looking. She look up and down, watch her walk away. And then Lady May was like, now what was that about? And Bishop says, oh, she needed the marital license. But, you know, don't worry about it. They're family. You know, family is everything. I said, well, listen to you, Stevie J. Okay, he just as dumb, too. And Lady May was just like, oh, okay. You know, she kind of gives him a hug. She was just like, you know how we do women. Sometimes we just let our spouse just be dumb over there. You know, he non-suspecting. You know, he just trusts everybody. I know what the fucking real deal is, so I'm not going to spoil your good time over there. I'm going to just take care of what the hell I need to take care of on my end. Now, Jacob, he goes and talks to Dante. Dante is getting, what was that? Was it a restaurant or something? You know, whatever it is, he's getting something built up, a business or something that he was doing. And Jacob was like, hey, I'd like to talk to you for a second. You know, and Dante was like, hey, okay, you know, sorry about that. What happened? The fighting, you know, the firing, all of that. But Jacob has an idea. All right. And Dante was like, okay, shoot, what is it? He says, well, you know how LeBron opened that school and he got a whole bunch of accolades, shout out to Nene, about the school. Well, you should do the same thing here in Memphis, Tennessee. And he says, okay, word. Okay, that sounds pretty good. You know, what schools? He was like, any schools. Okay. Or it could be Excellence Academy. And Dante was like, Excellence? Yeah. He said, Excellence Academy, like where your wife works? And he says, yes, that is Zora Mama School. And he was just like, so you just like everybody else, huh? Here I was about to pray with you and everything, and you got your hands out just like everybody else. And Jacob was just like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get into good graces again with the wife. See, that's what's wrong. You trying to help your wife monetarily instead of working on what the fuck is the problem in y'all relationship. Has nothing to do with money, at least not on your end. Her end is the fact that she thought she was going to be living high on the hog, and now she broke. And she can't figure out how she gonna get out of this mess, digging herself even deeper. But I just was like, oh Lord. So now Dante, you know, is against Jacob. So now Jacob can't even go that route. I said, you didn't burn that bridge. That Jacob is dumb, I tell you. Back at the church, Judy comes and she confronts Grace. Grace, so what's this that I hear about a party? Grace was just like, yes, my parents' engagement party. She says, well, I didn't know anything about an engagement party. Did you tell your parents about our little conversation earlier? She says, as a matter of fact, I did. And she says, and you don't think that they might tell everybody at the party? And Grace was like, no, I simply think that it's an engagement party. She says, well, invite me. No, bitch, don't want you to come. But of course, Grace can't say that. She says, that's fine. You can be my +1. She was like, okay, it'll be my pleasure. Okay, and she walks out and Grace was like, yeah, mine too. It seems that Judy kind of thought about some things and decided, you know what? She don't want them to be blindsided. So let's tell the board exactly what they're planning on doing. So she gets her whole little presentation together and they tell them, oh, it's a multi-use community, you know, campus is this, is that, it's going to be big, it's money, it's a lot going on. Okay. And you can see the damn dollar signs in Connie's eyes over there. They want to know who's paying for all of this. It's not going to cost the church 1 cent. The church will stay here. And all we asking is that we get 50% say on the board. They was like, what, 50%? So who is supposed to be leaving? 50% of us? And they was like, no, we just gonna add 50% more people. Okay, so I guess 12 more people to the board. And they were just like, oh, yeah, we don't know about this. Okay, so they were like, okay, so we're gonna leave y'all to talk about it, you know, and Sidekick Phil, Grace, and Judy walk out the room. And of course, as soon as they walk out, Connie was like, I think that we need to do this. Okay, so Connie is all over it. Oh, this is that guy's. This guy has that Gladiator in front of me. It is so nice, just so nice. That's the new Jeep trucks. It's the same color as mine and everything. Anyway, and the guy is actually kind of cute too. Excuse me. Look at you. See how quickly I get thrown off. Okay, so anyway, when they go out, Judy was just like, so what do you think? What do you think they thought? And Grace was just like, you know, it's anybody's guess right now, even though you can see them talking spiritedly, high-spirited talk behind them. You know, Sidekick Phil was like, they need to give us 100% of the vote. And Grace was like, I will never let them do that. And she was like, oh, wait a minute, Grace. Whose side are you on anyway? And she's like, I'm on God's side, okay? Seeming that you guys work for the devil, you wouldn't know that. But whatever. See you at the party. So at the party, you know, Bishop is greeting everybody. You know, he's charming. He's able to talk to the old members. You know, it's a good time at the Greenleaf estate. Sidekick Phil walks in and Bishop was like, oh, Sidekick Phil, let me talk to you for a second. He's cordial to Sidekick Phil. You know, Sidekick Phil seems to be pretty, you know, kind of making sure that he don't say or do the wrong thing, but keeping his good eye on Bishop. And he's like, come, let's get you a drink. Charity is watching from afar like, there go my fine ass man over there. You know, Grace walks up and she says, oh, girl, so you got Sidekick Phil here, huh? And daddy is being nice to him. You must be a miracle worker. She says, don't be trying to pony up to me. Grace was just like, excuse me? You are literally in bed with the enemy. And she was just like, we are not like you. First the fuck all. Secondly, you got your nerves talking about what I did with Sidekick Phil around here when you sat up there and lied to the police about AJ. Oh yeah, I know about that. But do you see me screaming it from the rafters and the rooftop that Grace went and lied to the police? But you got to run and tell mama and daddy about this relationship that I got with Sidekick Phil. You fucking got a whole lot of nerves, Miss Grace. And child, again, I said, now Charity get on my fucking nerves, but you know what? Like I said earlier, sometimes you just got to knock a bitch back in their I think Grace forgot about that. But anyway, back to Lady Mae and Bishop. So Lady Mae is working the room too. Hope and Harmony is not to be trusted, period. Okay, we got Zora there, Nikki there. They talking to the members, you know, and one of the members looked like she didn't had, you know, she a couple of sheets to the wind, and she's talking to Zora and and Nikki, and then Sophia walk up, and the lady was like, "Oh, Sophia, I thought that was you." Talking about Nikki. And I said, look at that, Sophia. Now, you done got replaced, you know, like I said, one light-skinned girl for the next one, child. And Sophia's feelings are so hurt. And Corinne goes and takes the lady's drink like, okay, that's enough for you. Okay, you can't even tell what it is. But I'm thinking to myself, like, Sophia, you the one that distanced yourself. You the one stopped going to church. You the one that left, you know, early and went. So, I mean, kind of like you did this to yourself. But you know, she's young, she don't know no better. So she gets hurt and she rushes out. You still see Bishop talking to Sidekick Phil. So what are your intentions with Charity? Okay, ulterior motives. And Sidekick Phil was like, well, you know, just to get to know her and kind of see where it goes. And let me tell you something. Your daughter must really be special, Bishop, for her to knock me off my path. Because I definitely have a path, okay, since I've fallen for her. But let me go and check on my girl while she's over there, because, you know, he sees her laughing off to the side. So Lady Mae walks up and she was like, excuse me, can I borrow my extremely handsome fiance? Sure, he was just going to go check on this girl anyway, okay? So when he walks away, you know, they were both like, yeah, he still ain't on the up and up, because he ain't said the one thing that would have made all the difference, which is I will quit, okay? If you ain't quitting for your love, then we don't want it. So they can't approve of Charity and Sidekick Phil's relationship. Now, when Sidekick Phil goes over there to talk to Charity, you know, he was like, I saw that conversation that you had with Grace over there. Y'all was arguing. Was that about me? And, you know, Charity is just like, oh, she just gets on my fucking nerves. Okay, just so high and mighty. He was like, well, I still got the tape. And she was just like, yeah, I know, but I just feel like that's going to mess up AJ. Let's just hold on to it, you know. So, and he says, okay, listen, I see Judy over there, you know, Judy. And she's standing over there by himself or herself. So he was just like, let me go over there and make sure she's okay. He goes over to her and she was just like, oh, I see you fraternizing with a, you know, local color. Okay. And he was like, oh, you know, Charity is different. And she was just like, oh, really? Is it different than how you were with me? Oh, I'm sorry. We don't talk about that. I said, what? Was you jumping on Judy? Sidekick? We can't get no more of that conversation, because Bishop and Lady Mae are about to do their little not presentation, you know, thank you speech for everybody being there, you know. And Bishop, he defers to Lady Mae and he lets her do all the talking. And y'all know that's perfect for Lady Mae. Right when she's about to get started, we see Zora Mama, she leave, and she was like, I'll be right back. And Jacob was like, where are you going? And she was like, to go talk to Fernando. Bitch, don't listen, don't start it tonight. While Lady Mae is in there talking, she go running into the room, you know, to that safe. I said, I hope they have a fucking camera sitting up there for somebody to see her black ass up there trying to break in. So, child, and I mean just black ass in general. I'm not saying because she dark skinned, because some of y'all will be like, oh, Roxanne, what, you got a problem with dark skin? I have no problem with any skin color on this show. All right. She goes up to the damn safe and, you know, she's putting it in and she's trying to listen for that last number that she didn't get. And it says click. Oh, you got it. She opens that bitch up and it ain't nothing in there. If I was Lady Mae, I'd have put a damn picture of myself in there like, bitch, that's what you get. Did you think that Lady Mae wasn't going to move her shit? We don't trust you, ma'am. And she is so molded. I said, scratch the neck. Scratch the neck. So she has to close it up, take her ass back down there. And old Lady Mae is giving it to him, you guys. She got a full sermon talking about 50-50 and basically how this relationship or any other relationship that you enter into, don't you ever let them take 50%. And God is nowhere in there. Okay? Because God needs a seat at the table as well. So if they talking about 50 cent, and I mean that any which kind of way, wherever you talking about, okay, you better make sure that it's you, them, and God. Okay. Oh, child, she done said it, and honey, they were so excited with her conversation, her speech, I should say, that everybody in there was clapping and all. I said everybody but Sidekick, Phil, and Judy. You know, the Greenleafs and did it again. Okay, you know, Bishop was like, that was perfect, May. Okay, and Grace was like, good job, Mama. Judy done had enough. She about to get the fuck on. Okay, so she at her car, at the valet waiting on the car, and you know, Sidekick Phil is with her. And she was just like, oh, this is just a mess now. And he was just like, well, if you guys would have told me, you know, what was going on, the plans, I would have cleared a path. And she was like, shit, I just found out 3 days ago. I said, something tell me that Bob Whitmore ain't told nobody what his plans are. He don't trust none of you guys, and you guys doing all of this for what? She was just like, listen, you can go on and sign them divorce papers. I said, what? Excuse me, come again. I know good damn well you wasn't hitting on the pink toe, was you? How long these people think they gonna keep these secrets? I said, Sidekick Phil, you was part of the family? That is why he thinks that he's owed everything. Since I was just trying to figure out, why does he feel that in his mind that he deserves anything? Oh, because he was good old son-in-law. Oh, wait till Charity find that out, child. But when the car comes and she's getting in there, she's all kind of crying, and he says, are you okay to drive? And she was like, what do you care? Yes, I'm fine to drive. Okay. I said, ooh, I'm just trying to picture Sidekick Phil and Judy together. And then back in the house, you know, Connie, she's about to leave, and she's like walking up to Lady May like, girl, first you had the conversation with the sisters of Tamar. I said, with the Braxtons? You was talking to Tony? How's she doing? Is she still with Birdman? And now you come up with this. Girl, if you ain't a one-woman repertory theater show, I know something. And Lady May was like, if you think that I made something up like this, and she was just like, everybody know you lying. And Lady May was just like, you know what, bitch, not in my house. Okay, I'd have called her a bitch. Lady May is too nice, too gracious. She just goes and opens the door. And Connie was like, you know, fine, she's leaving. Okay, it was a nice party. All right. Oh, that Connie is something else. And Lady May closes the door, and I know Lady May is tired. It's just too much to be thinking about between her dumb husband, her dumb kids, Grace, AJ, the church, you know, Charity, now the Zora mama, you know. Like I said, ain't nobody thinking about them damn kids. Oh, and speaking about the kids, Sophia, when she had left, she had ran back down to Zora's cabin, and she was in the bed, and all of a sudden you can hear some rumbling going on at the door. Okay, and she thought that it was Zora, but I thought that it was AJ. I said, I know this boy ain't back already. I mean, you ain't even been gone long enough to be making a point, because he definitely is coming back, you guys. That's a given. Where else is he gonna go? But when the door opens, it is Dante. And let me tell you, that Sophia wasn't scared, wasn't startled or nothing. He was like, oh, I'm bringing some boxes for, you know, Nikki. I didn't think that anybody would be here. I thought that they would all be at the party. Oh, Sophia's like, no, I ain't at no party. Okay. Oh, so you Dante, huh? He's like, yeah. He's like, and who are you? And she was just like, oh, well, you know, she don't know who she is. She was the prodigal daughter at one time. And he was like, well, let's start with your name. She said, Sophia. And child, she looking at him like she want to take a bite. He said, Sophia, well, how about we go for a ride? You know, sometimes it's good to just drive. And she says, okay. I said, oh, Sophia is really good. Child, when Zora and Nikki find out about that, because Nikki like him, Zora like him. Okay? Sophia and this boy about to get serious. It's about to be something. And boy, they are going, ooh. And then Nikki going to turn out, child, it's going to be a whole nother story with them. Hey, but it's fine. Sophia, go on and get you some loving from Dante, because, child, ain't nobody else thinking about you at that place anyway. Like I said, maybe it's time for you to just go on back to school. And then the next day, Judy comes to see Grace. So I was right. Your parents did have plans to tell everybody. Grace was like, well, you know what, Judy, contrary to what everybody thinks, my parents do whatever the hell they want to do. And Judy was like, okay, well, that's fine, Grace, but let me let you in on a little bit of secret. We have big plans for this community, for this campus, everything that's going on, okay, and the church still being there. We want it all to be run by you. That's right, you will run everything. Nobody else knows that, not even Sidekick Phil. So you can't even tell anybody until Daddy comes here in 2 weeks. I said, well, see, they don't know this about Grace, But first of all, Grace is not swayed by power because Grace is truly a woman of God, okay? Grace is not swayed by money because Grace is a millionaire. Nobody knows that, but that's what it is. So you going and dangling this little piece of fruit in her face is really not doing anything. Grace is just looking at her and says like, boy, you guys are full of surprises, aren't you? And then lastly, you guys, Bishop goes to see Charity. Oh, come in, Daddy. I just put the baby down. Bitch, you ain't touched that baby in 4 months. Talking about, so what did you think about Sidekick Phil? And he was just like, well, Charity, me and your mother believe that it's best if you guys hold off until after Grace gets the church back. I said, okay. Granted, Charity don't need to be in this relationship, but are you really trying to tell this woman to not be with this man? It's like, why do you think that this is? I would have been offended and upset if somebody came and told me some shit like that. You know, so she was just like, so Grace before Charity. And I said, no, church before Charity. I don't know why Bishop didn't explain that to her, because in her mind, okay, which is the little sister always coming after the big sister, and the jealousy and all of that, in her mind is Grace and not the church. And she's upset about it. And he says, well, you'll see the wisdom in it in the morning. Okay, like, you dumb, you don't know no better. And I said, oh, Bishop, you didn't push this child completely over the edge. If you thought that you was going to be able to control her a little bit, you ain't going to be able to do it now. Okay, and I can't say that I blame her, even though she dumb and she about to fuck everything up. She rushes and goes back to Sidekick Phil. She says, have you sent that recording yet? He was like, nope. Well, send it. I don't care what you got to do. Just send it. Send the email to Bob. Do it right now. And she don't care what the consequences are. And I was just like, yeah, see, you guys have to they are underestimating Charity. Like I said, she is not smart, but the girl has so much information, and you guys knowing that she is sleeping with Sidekick Phil, even if she wasn't smart enough to put 2 and 2 together, you know Sidekick Phil can manipulate this girl, and everybody can manipulate Charity. Why do you guys not see that Charity is the biggest threat right now? All right, you guys, that is it. It has been a long video. I'm gonna try to edit it down so that it's not a whole bunch, because I was talking way too much. And then you guys, that is it though. I'm going to get on back to work. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I am itsrox. That's me. And the channel is for It's Rocks, and everything else I do, which probably won't be, but I say it all the time, is going to be in the bottom bar. I am so bad at adding stuff to that bar, that description box. It's just hard for me. I don't know. I just post it. I'll be like, that's enough. Y'all got the video. What else you need? But I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better, you guys. But anyway, let me get on, okay? I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.